everyone. Just as I promised, here is Jan Nowak of Epic Realty, and Jan is joining us today from Boise, Idaho. Hey, Jan, how are you?
I'm doing great today. So nice to see you. How's
Thank you. Likewise. And we're going to see each other in a few months, so I am very excited about that.
I can't wait for you to come and see you in Boise.
Oh, yeah, we love Boise. It's a great, great, great place. Um, so, Jan, tell us a little bit about yourself.
I've been in Boise since the early 90s. I moved from Southern California. Actually grew up in Southern California, but before I moved here, I lived in Mammoth Mountain. And then our family came, visited the town, loved it. Little by little, myself and the rest of the family members ended up moving here.
Wow, and that's such, I hear that a lot because once people visit there, they really love it. And you've got, well, we'll talk about it, but you've got the
Sure.
seasons and so forth.
Right.
So tell us a little bit about your brokerage.
Okay, so I'm at Epic Realty. I've been there about 2 years. I switched from another large brokerage where I was one of the managing brokers at the time.
Mhm.
I switched to this realty just because of the more tech that they offered. Found that the tools that they had were kind of up and coming, and that was really exciting to kind of jump to the next level.
I know. And with all this technology today, I think one of the really neat things is that we're able to show clients almost virtually what another property is going to look like, different states, different
Right.
states and different areas. Tell us a little bit about the things that people can do once they get to Boise.
Well, there's so many things, and that's why I think people gravitate here from many different states, including a lot from California,
Mhm.
is our outdoor activities. As you had mentioned a bit earlier, we do have 4 seasons. So not only can you have the summer activities, it cools down to fall and there's hiking. We go into winter where you can have snowshoeing and skiing. And then we kind of hit springtime where everything's kind of wakening up again to get everybody outside and back over for the next year to, get outside and have fun.
So, one of the things that I found really interesting, which I didn't know about until I started visiting in the summer times, was the amount of sunshine you get. Can you tell us a little
Yes.
bit about that?
Yes, and amazing with the sunshine plus too, because we're kind of outlined in mountains, we have such a broad, that was the first thing I noticed when I moved here is how much sunshine that you actually see and feel. With the sunshine, we do get the warmer weather like you do in California too for a few weeks out of our summer. Enter that right now.
And the sunset. I mean, I have seen the sun up until like after 9 p.m. at night. Not the whole year, obviously, but only certain
No.
time during the year.
Right. Well, we started probably about mid-May or so, and it started getting light earlier, and now it will gradually stay light till about 10 or 10:15 at night. So
My
that's
God.
one thing, you kind of get carried away with your activities. You're outside and you look at your watch and it's like 9:30 or 10.
Oh
It's
my
nice to
gosh.
have an outside experience.
And how long does that last?
It lasts probably till about September or so. I mean, you'll start to see the days shorten a bit.
Mhm.
It's so gradual when it happens, you just find your activities is pulling you more indoor. We do take a great advantage of that.
Oh
That's,
my gosh, I can completely imagine. Well, I don't have to imagine. I've lived through
yeah,
it.
yeah,
And so we end up being more and more active, for a longer period of time, which is great for our health, which is awesome.
it really is because you really just get so ingrained in what you're doing.
Mhm.
Fun just kind of generates more and more because you don't have that watch that you're looking at or the sun going down that puts the limitations that you feel you need to pack up and head back home.
Yeah, that's terrific. So there's so many things to know about Boise. Can you tell us, a lot of people from California are moving there. One of the reasons is because of the cost of living. Can you talk to us about that?
Sure. As far as the cost of living, we have housing here more affordable. We do have a lot of the different services that you're looking at as far as driver's license, registration of vehicles, just all those ancillary services and things that you need, as far as just having a whole life experience, as far as all the responsibilities you have. Those are all the things that we have that are very, very affordable still. You mentioned housing, but as we do have people moving more and more, our housing prices are going up very drastically and very quickly. And I think that's where our cost of living is getting a little bit challenging for some of our local state members, just because we just do have a lot of influx of people moving here.
Right. But is there still plenty of housing available there?
Well, I think we're very we're very much alike all of the other states that I talk to and connect with people across the nation. Is we do have a housing shortage. We do have new construction coming on board, but we still do have very, very, very low inventory for the amount of buyers that we have looking. So while it is affordable, it is also very competitive.
Okay. So basically, very similar to what we're seeing in the rest of the country.
Correct. Yes.
Right. But we're hopeful that as time progresses, things will calm down and there will be a great opportunity for people to purchase. And it's probably a good idea for people to start thinking about this well in advance so that they're not caught short at the very last moment, scrambling to look for a home. Because it does take a little while to find, that special place. And, with the right agent, you can really get into a very nice home.
Right, right. It's really, as you mentioned, a process, and it really has to start with kind of what are my goals, what are my objectives, what am I looking for in a new home or a replacement home, and especially if you're moving from out of state, there are pieces and parts to get in place too. It's challenging to come in to an area like Boise now with having a home to sell or having contingencies like that. I think you're finding as well, it's nice if there's somewhat of a clean break, a little bit of a transition period, and then being able to find the right home so that you can have your offer accepted and move in swiftly and comfortably.
So what would you suggest, like for people leaving their state, moving to Boise? Well, obviously having contingencies of selling the home is probably not the type of offer that's going to be accepted unless it's like super high. So what other things could you suggest for people who are, selling their home and wanting to move to Boise?
If you haven't visited here, I would suggest to take a visit just to have a tour of the town. I love touring people that are new to town around in the various areas because I feel that's very important if you're relocating somewhere, that you have an idea of what kind of activities you're looking for and what kind of neighborhood would make you feel more comfortable and at home. And in doing so, you at least can identify the very factors of pricing and what it's really going to take to get your offer accepted. But going back a little bit, like you said, the best, cleanest offer is always try to sell the property that you currently have.
Mm-hmm.
And you're able to focus and put in a very strong offer on a new home that you find here in Boise.
So would you suggest that while they're still living in California or other state where they might be, if they've already sold their home, suppose one of the things that they could do is arrange to rent back from the new buyers so that they have the opportunity to take a look for homes, because sometimes it could take a few offers to get their offer accepted. Would you say that's about right?
Right. That would be a good approach if you did sell your home and rent back until you located something here. Because of the influx of people moving here, we do have some large apartment complexes that have short-term leases. More people are doing, because if they can get a 3-month or a 6-month lease and be able to move into some place and then casually look, the pressure isn't on them as much as it is with arriving into town and trying to find maybe a place to stay at a long-term suites type of hotel or motel. This is a little bit more comfortable living, and the apartment complexes are set up to handle that kind of new tenant for a short term.
Yeah, that's really terrific because here in California, we don't really have too much of that. I mean, we do have the extended stay hotels, but for the most part, landlords want a minimum of a 1 year lease.
Exactly.
Month to month, it's very difficult to find. And
Right.
probably don't want to be renting a room, not when you have, all your things. And so, yeah, so that's terrific to be able to do that. And then doing the either 3 or 6 month renting of an extended stay place, you're able to go check out the neighborhoods, like you said, and, tour the different areas and then make a really well-informed decision.
Right. You'll find that there was a real need that these apartment complexes really found with people coming and looking to lease the various apartments. So they really jumped on board, which is really nice because even if you move into town and you're in the construction process and your home sold quicker than you expected, and you arrive in town and maybe have 2 or 3 more months on construction to get done, it's a great alternative. What people really don't understand is they take pets. I mean, they take 2 dogs or 2 cats or a combination of both, which is nice too, because then you're not fretful and wondering, well, what am I going to do here with my animals? They can all be under one roof and still be able to live comfortably, waiting for their home to be finished or to find a new one.
Yeah, no, that's terrific. And how affordable are the rents on these places?
Well, they're probably a little bit more money than you would find on a year term. I would say what I'm finding currently with a 2 bedroom, 2 bath, you could be about 1,500, 1,600 a month. 3 bedroom, 2 bath, you're probably in the $1,700 or $1,800 a month. And they might charge a premium depending if your term is less than like a 6-month term. There may be a little bit more of a premium added on that.
Yeah, and I mean, by comparison to California's prices, that is very reasonable. I mean,
Right.
obviously we want to look at Boise's prices, but when you're coming from trying to get a studio here, depending on the area of California that you're in, trying to get a studio for about 1,500, to be able to get a 2 bedroom, 2 bath, I mean, that's really amazing.
Well, and what's really nice is they're newer apartments too. So they have a refrigerator, they have a washer and dryer in them. So you can at least move your furniture and unpack and be comfortable. But if you have those large appliances, if you're able to, some of the locations have garages too. You could just put those in the garage for storage, and you're really just kind of compact under one roof instead of trying to live out of boxes,
Mhm.
very short-term stay.
Yeah, that's a really good point.
Yeah.
That's really, really good to know. So now getting back to some of the places in Boise, I went to visit and we went to Boise State, and
Yes.
that was so much fun. So much fun. Can you tell us a little bit about Boise State?
Boise State is right downtown. It borders the river and it borders the green belt. So you can have even if you're not in the college atmosphere, you can have the nice experience of either just enjoying it from afar. We are very well known for our blue turf on the ball field. And I think that's what gets us all our notoriety, is everybody knows where Boise is now because of the blue turf.
Well, that plus the amazing football team you guys had.
Yeah, we do. It's evolved over probably about the last 10 years and more and more. We just have such a great appreciation for our teams, the coaches, and now hopefully this coming season with everything coming back to normal, hopefully we'll see people tailgating and everything in the parking lots again and bringing all that energy back into the stadium.
Oh, yeah, that's terrific. And I think just by being near the river, that is so awesome.
Oh, it is just so calming. It's just just a great experience.
So what do people do on the river? Do they have like river rafting? What do they have? What do they do?
Well, you can fly fish. That's one thing. They do stock the river at certain points of time, mostly in the fall for the steelhead. But in the summer, we do have floating of the river, and we start at Barber Park. So you can actually catch a bus at one of the local downtown parks, and then you head down to Barber Park, where you can rent rafts, rent tubes, things like that. And you float from Barber Park all the way into Boise, and you end up at Ann Morrison Park, which is very close to Boise State. So that's a fun thing to do. But our greenbelt does border the river too. So you can run, you can bike ride, you can rollerblade, or just stroll. It's, you know, it's just an experience everybody gets outside and enjoys.
Wow, that sounds terrific.
It
When I visited there, I just loved being by the river. It was so peaceful. And you can go, like, how far can you actually go? I mean, if you were to walk or bike, what's like the length that you would have the ability to go?
It's expanded over time, but you could, and a point that you may reference is Lucky Peak, which is our local reservoir, and you can head all the way to Stars. So I'm thinking you probably have about a good 20 miles or so that you can actually be on that. There'd be some breaks maybe in between in a few areas, but they're trying to make the whole connection whole.
Yeah, that sounds terrific.
Yeah.
Now, for anyone who is planning on visiting, are there any specific attractions that you would suggest? I mean, I know that there's so much to do, but is there anything like a favorite that you like?
I love going to Camel's Back Park. You can mountain bike back there and hike.
Mm-hmm.
Just outside of Hyde Park, which is just a little kind of community where they have coffee house, some restaurants, some little shops. It's in our historic district downtown. And it's charming there because you can enjoy the park and its activities for all the, biking and hiking, come back down, have something to drink or eat, and then stroll around and look at all the historic homes. It's kind of a charming place to go. Downtown, yes, we do have so many brew pubs that have opened. We have wine bars. We do have Capitol buildings there, which, not a lot of people know what it's like to live in a capital of a state. So that's kind of intriguing too. From there is the train depot, which it's not a quick walk, but it's a little drive, and you can kind of see how the trains years ago where they used to stop and people used to congregate.
That's so neat. That sounds great. Well, it sounds like you are so familiar with the city, and I'm sure that buyers heading over there would love to be able to contact you for more information. So I'm going to include a way for people to contact you in the description box below.
Okay, that would be wonderful. Thank you. I appreciate that. I have a relocation guide if you're interested in that too.
Excellent. We'll include that on the bottom as well. Now, is there anything else that you'd like to add?
Please come to Idaho. Please visit Boise. When you come here, embrace the charm and the atmosphere and the weather and all the surroundings that we have. I think you'll really enjoy them and really understand why a lot of people happen to come here and relocate or visit.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. It's a very, very beautiful place. Okay, thank you so much, Jen, for joining us.
And thank you for your time.
Thank you. All right, take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Hi, are you thinking of buying a home or property and don't know where to start? Well, there are a lot of moving parts, so make sure to click the link and we'll be happy to send you a copy of our free home buyer's guide. I'm Clara Duran Reed with California Coastal Homes at the Duran Reed firm.